So watch this. So what I love about Jesus is that he is consistently teaching you something that you don't know about yourself, and he's teaching you about you. He's not teaching about all these other things. He's talking to you about you and showing you where you fit into the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Where you fit in the grand plan. I told somebody earlier that God can't lose and he'll never lose.
Right.
It doesn't matter what happens to people, God never loses.
True story.
So because that's the truth, there's a plan. We think in terms of losses and wins, good and bad, but it's not that. It's either his will or it's not. Right? It's either the plan or it's not the plan.
Right.
And so when you look at it that way, your perspective is that way, then you start seeing, okay, now life and Jesus is teaching me how to line up with the plan and showing me when I'm not lined up. He's not telling me whether I'm good or bad, because even they come run to him and say, good man. He said, don't call me good. Ain't nobody good but God. We're good but one.
Yeah.
That's God. So it wasn't that type of thing. It wasn't wins and losses. My mic is still super low. It wasn't wins and losses, but it was that. It was your will or not your will. All right. So we got that. So now Jesus is showing me this much better. Jesus is showing me where I fit in the will. So today I had to realize, bro, because coming up, I always thought that the doors of the church were open. And we just bring people in, and we just accepting everybody, and everybody can do everything because everything is possible, right? Then I had to realize that can be true, but not without the proper requirements. You get it?
Yeah.
Now I understand. We preach this message that God loves us no matter what. That's true, right? And I understand. We say that you don't have to pay for it. There's nothing that you can do that'll be worth as much as your salvation, right? And I hear that, but that translates to sometimes you ain't got to do nothing. And I came to the point where I realized that God is not in the business of raising no redacted. Because he, at the very beginning, when God made man in his image, he said, I made you in my image and my likeness. And I know God is not a redacted.
Right.
All right. So because he's not a redacted, right, I know he's not raising redacted because I made you in my image.
Right.
Now, if you end up being a redacted, that means you got your image from another redacted and not from me. Right. Because he's not in the business of raising no redacted. You get it? And so I started watching Jesus, and I realized that even in the process of Jesus, like I said earlier, Jesus had a job application. You could just walk with Jesus. I'm coming with you.
That's true.
You can't just, I'm coming with you. No.
And he sent some people back.
He's some people, that boy come running up. That boy come running up and say, Lord, I can do the eternal life. Okay, word. Right? You right there. You asked the right word.
Yeah.
Have you observed the commandments? His interview, part 1. Oh, yeah, I done find colors. I done passed all the tests. I done did that. I'm my mama. All right, cool. Then he smiled and said, all right, cool. Check. All right, go check. Then he said, all right, one thing you're lacking. I don't know what he would have told that boys ain't do the commandments. He was like, what you over here for?
Right.
Go back to school. Go back to your father's house. Right?
You're not ready.
But then he says, one thing you're lacking. So I need you to go and sell everything you have, give it to the poor, and then take up your cross and come follow me.
Okay.
Dude leaves the interview sad. Now he wanted eternal life.
Yeah.
He wanted the job.
Matter of fact, he initiated the conversation. Jesus was not here like, anybody want eternal life? He wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
He was going by his business doing. And you won't run up and stop me in the middle of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And act like you really wanted what you think I got. Right? But Jesus said there's some requirements for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's not you can't just work here. You can't just do this because I will be violating the will versus not the will.
Yeah.
Because the will has some ways that it works.
Yeah.
That's cool, ain't it?
Yeah.
And so God is not in the business of raising no. He's just not. Right. He's not going to do it.
Right.
And so everything that he's doing, he's challenging.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? You see Jesus, I'm gonna go through them just quick because I don't want to spend a lot of time. We talk about a lot of different podcasts, but the guy waiting for the water to be troubled. You know what I'm saying? He waiting for a man to put him in. I get it, I understand, but I understand the guy had belief to be healed. He just didn't know how it was gonna come.
Right.
Jesus says, "Okay, how long you been doing it?" He said, "You believe this? You believe? All right, cool, right? Right. Take up your bed and walk. Right? Will I be made whole?" The man started. He said, "What I made?" The man started telling his story, but obviously, somewhere through that, Jesus picked up. Okay, he do want to be made whole, but I can't make you whole without requiring something of you, because if I make you whole without requiring something of you, I handicap you.
Exactly.
Remember, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, I give you rest. I give you rest. Take my yoke upon me and learn of me, for I'm meek and lowly in heart, and then you'll find rest. For my yoke is easy, my burden light. The perfect example of how Jesus works with people.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you, but the only way I'm going to give it to you is showing you how to do this and this and this so that you can find it yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because when you find it yourself, if I heal you without anything for you to do, you never understand your godliness.
So I'm thinking about all these people who think they're disciples of Jesus or following Jesus.
You talking about back then? You talking about today?
No, I'm talking about today.
Oh.
I was just thinking about how many things they haven't done or even
right.
approached.
Right. See, people say, well, you don't have to do nothing. Or, and I don't think.
Well,
watch this.
can I say something?
Yes,
I know
you
for
can.
sure the instructions are more than just going to church on Sunday.
Right.
So go ahead.
Well, I learned something today. Can I tell you what I learned? I'll be learning stuff, right?
Church on Sunday. Yeah.
Me being a person that has ministered, preached, and talked to people for a long time, right? I would shy away from the normal way of doing things or preaching or because I would say it wasn't working. Because we'd be saying stuff, and then we not seeing the results we'll see, right? But then it hit me the other day. It's not that preaching doesn't work. It's what you preaching don't work. And so it's not that I believe that a lot of more people, and it's not even about getting people at church. I don't know when it became about that, but that's cool too. But I think a lot more people would like to be involved with Jesus.
Yeah.
If the right thing that Jesus was requiring was being said. See, I think the works that have been proclaimed over time are pointless. They in circles, and they don't cause no power, so people don't want to do them. So then
man-made
not we,
instructions.
but inside the church, whatever we want to call it, right? Tend to say, see, they don't want to change. No, it's not that they don't want to change, but I don't see no change.
All right.
You get it?
Yeah.
But I believe there's a lot of strong people that have strong work ethic that really want to make better themselves, but the things that are offered for people to do are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe that with government assistance, everything like that. I believe all those things are important, but I believe that there's not a relevant plan.
Yeah. So it's like blank rules.
So it's blank rules. So now you're saying something to really hold people in the same place. Is what I'm saying. God is not in the business of raising He's not raising weak people.
Yeah.
He never intended on that. Right? So now Jesus, y'all excuse me, I was like, I already prayed, ask the Lord to help me. So I don't care if you're bleeding and you've been bleeding for so many years. We're not about to stop and say, oh,
Yeah.
come here, let me bless you and pray for you because you've been going through so much. Nobody cares. You can die. You're going to have to push yourself through the crowd with your belief
Good point.
and touch the hem,
Yep.
whether I pay attention to you or not. Because be it to your according to your faith. And then now he ends up talking and say, I ain't seen such great faith
Right.
nowhere, because you were willing to do something past the ordinary.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the bottom. It's what it is. And so now we have this thing where we can just have it all. Like, give us your glory. There's a price for the glory.